movie. I look over, you're sleeping, and I'm wide awake following along. I'm watching this, was it melodrama or whatever it's called? I'm watching this sappy relationship with
and I had the remote.
85-year-olds. Yeah, and I put the remote over, like on your side, so like when it was over, I had to like lean over, reach over you, trying to wake you up, turn it off. And it was a cute movie. I don't remember the name of it though. It was on Amazon Prime. It had that one guy in it. Yeah, older guy. He was in other stuff.
I don't know his name.
Before.
I was trying to tell my mom about it actually today too.
But he like builds a house, and she has dementia or something like that, and Alzheimer's or whatever. And it was kind of sad. I really hope I don't have that one day.
Not either.
That sucks. I hope you don't have it.
I hope not either. Did I already say that?
No. What? Does that just, no, that's not a laugh track. Even though you're cheesing pretty hard, like you just made a good joke. So yeah. Brownie points. So yeah, I just felt duped because here I was trying to set it up to where, hey, I'll let you enjoy your movie. I will fall asleep. I'll be out. And then no, I didn't fall asleep. I ended up watching it. And there was a sex scene in there too.
Oh yeah, the old people.
Yeah, they're 80-year-old old people. When she took her hair down, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And it was cute though. I wish I could remember the name of it. Just look on Amazon Prime and just look for a couple old people, and they're like walking away. I can't remember the name of it though. Oh, look at this, my phone.
There you go.
Right in front of me. All right, I'll look it up here and give it to you by the end of this podcast. I promise. But yeah, so relationships, they can be interesting. And that old couple though, it was so cute. And I hope that one day I can end up like that. But I don't want to say that because I really don't want you to have like dementia or anything. But I mean, that's out of our control. I mean, whatever's going to happen is already bound to happen. Just we don't know.
It was a very cute movie though. Part that I saw.
What was that dude in?
He's in a lot of stuff.
Oh. Well, there's the bear. Nico watches that. Would have been to watch it again. I don't remember. Oh, Jesus Lord. Anyway, is there anything? Oh, yeah. I talked to Stephanie. Well, I didn't talk to her. From
Our fellow podcaster?
Yeah.
What'd she have to say?
Well, I invited her to well, I kind of told her a little about the podcast because she was like, tell me about the podcast that you're doing. I don't know if she sounds like that.
I was just about to say she does not sound like that.
No, she doesn't actually. We heard her because we listened to a little bit of her podcast. But she just asked what the podcast was about. I told her, it's about my early recovery, my story in early recovery. And she said she would check it out. And she did, and she wrote me back. I think maybe she was being nice, maybe, I don't know. But she was like, oh, your podcasts are great. And I told her that she should come on sometime and do, a podcast with us. And I told her that it's very easy to do that through with what we use, and we use Spreaker. She doesn't. She uses something else. But I told her that we can, do interviews over the phone. It's very, very easy for us. And I think I told her Sunday.
Okay.
But, yeah, there's so many recovery podcasts out there. Like, I had no idea. And then I get an email the other day saying that we were in the top 100 Apple podcasts.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, is this for real? And I checked it out, and it was. We were number 99. But we were in the top 100, though. And I was kind of like, that's pretty cool. And that's of the nonprofit podcast. And, there's a lot of nonprofit podcasts that are, we're probably unique in talking about recovery in a nonprofit podcast world. Because I think most of them talk about how to raise money and how to, do this and that. And we're just like talking about recovery. And we are a nonprofit organization. So I figured that's what we should be associated with. When we were in the category of social and culture or something like that. We were like number 400 out of 20,000. So that's still not too bad.
Right.
You know, like worldwide, that's pretty good, really. But to be in the nonprofit category, you know, to be 99, I'll take it. It was pretty cool. It was a good feeling. I took a picture of it and shared it on Facebook. And also, which I don't think I shared this on Facebook, the video I made. It's more...
I thought you did.
I might have shared it on my page, but I didn't share it on the 217 Recovery page.
Okay.
But it's more of a... Would you say it's more of a slideshow than a movie?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just doing a voiceover, which is kind of stupid. But, I mean, no, I don't know. I just don't think it was... It's not what I envisioned it to be. It was just something that I kind of threw together because I was talking to Nate from 9 and 10 News here in Traverse City. And we were talking about working together on a project. And I was like, well, here's kind of an idea I had. You know, it's just an idea of it. And he told me to get it to him, so that's why I kind of finished it up and sent it out. But it has my nephews in it. And if you haven't seen it yet, you want to check it out. It's on our site, 217recovery.com. Mm-hmm. Go to the donate page because that's ultimately the goal of the video is to get people to donate to us and, you know, let us kind of do what we do and free us up a little bit with being able to go places and to take people places and not have to charge people money, which will help a lot of people. And of course, if you want to talk about recovery housing, but we don't really have to talk about that yet. Of course, we're a few weeks away from that. But it's something that I really want to do too, and especially around, you know, northern Michigan. And I just think that it's something that can be done better. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's because I've been to a few and I've seen some of them that work, and I've seen me not ready to make it work. And maybe, and it's not because I was a bad person, it's just I wasn't ready. But I think it can be done a little better. And by better, I mean with a more, I don't want to say success rate, but with more people obtaining their long-term recovery goal. Mm-hmm. You know, if that's a year, then hey, awesome. You know, if that's 9 months, that's cool. You know, let's reach that together. And then once you get that under your belt, you know, then maybe, you know, head out and start trying it on your own, because you don't want to live in sober living forever. Well, I know one guy that does, but there's nothing wrong with that, you know. It's just most people want to get right back out and, you know, pay their own bills and do their own thing. I'm still looking for this movie and I cannot find it. What you got over there, Marnie? This is where I'm stalling now, and then you have to...
No, I think the recovery, I was just going to comment on that, is that transitional housing in general is, I'm very familiar with it. I've lived in 2 myself. One was in Oklahoma, actually, and they referred to that as Oxford House, which I think they're one and the same, essentially. Mm-hmm. But there were requirements. We had to go to, I believe, 5 meetings a week, and we did have a curfew, and we had a sign-in, sign-out. We had to have a job. We had, you know, house upkeep to do. We were, you know, responsible for our own everything in terms of our food, our I think utilities. I think we split them at that house, if I can remember right. It was a while ago. But no, I really enjoyed my time there. I was never kicked out of transitional. I always felt like I was ready to move on to something else. And I utilized my time there wisely. And, you know, it wasn't, I never relapsed when I was in transitional. I think that I always thought like I had it I was ready. And in hindsight, I probably should have stayed longer. I probably should have, utilized that time differently, I guess, or, had a longer experience with it there, surrounded by, and I guess it has a lot to do with the people that you are living with, because you don't have a choice in that. The one thing I did like about that house, which is interesting, now that I think about it, is they actually had we had an interview with the people that already lived there. So it kind of like ran itself like that. But there was no like house manager. There was 5 other women that were living there, and I called for an interview after I left my rehab that I went to in Oklahoma, and I went and visited, and then they, asked you questions, and then, you had to leave the room or whatever, and they had a little powwow and, decided if you were a good candidate for the house. So, which I don't think many other houses go about it that way. But it was, it was affordable. It was not, it wasn't funded, completely. It was just like a low rent, like a sliding scale type deal, if I remember right. But no, I really enjoyed my time there. But transitional housing in general, how I feel about it is it's an opportunity for you to get your, affairs in order, get your, emotions in order. I mean, you're just coming out from wherever it was that you were. Obviously, you're there for a reason. And to be surrounded by other individuals that have the same goal, and ideally to live, a sober lifestyle, and get your independence back slowly, in a smart way. And so for that reason, I think that they're totally a helpful tool in terms of getting back your independence and getting back on track of, being your own person again in a sober life, in a sober lifestyle.
And it can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you meet good people there.
And a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, if you'd asked me, I'd be like, I can't wait to get out of here. But looking back, it wasn't that bad. And, I had a lot of fun in recovery. And that's, you can make friends or you can make enemies. How are you going to go into it with a mindset of, yeah, I'm going to do this. And here's what I need to do. And I'm going to have fun when I'm doing it. I mean, you can go into it with that mindset, or you can go into it with, I hate this sucks. Oh.
It definitely, it is
people
what
do
you
that
make
too.
it. It is.
I can't live with these slobs.
And the other thing too is you don't have to be best friends with everybody. It's just like when you work at a job. You don't have to get along with everyone. You're not going to, probably.
Word.
But the point is that you do need to cohabitate, and just do what it is that you're there to do. And, you kind of like one of the transitional housing that I lived in, there was a lot of women. I think it was like 12. Yeah. And I was working a lot, and I was going to meetings. I was in drug court, so I was gone all the time. So I was kind of like a ship in the night in terms of the other women that lived there. I didn't really, hang out or, do many activities with them, but we weren't, there was no beef or anything with anybody. It was just kind of like doing my own thing.
Yeah.
And it worked. It worked for me. It was comfortable, and, there are rules, but there's, I was essentially just, the rules were me doing what it is I should be doing anyway.
Yeah.
So.
When I lived at Nathan's house in Boyne City, it was kind of the same way. It was, at the end, I was so busy. I had 2 jobs, was going to school full time, and it was stuff that I wanted to do. I wasn't like taking on more than I could chew. It's just, would I rather be sitting around a house? No. I would always, come home from work, go pick up the guys, go to a meeting, and come home, get something to eat. By the time it's 9:30, 10 o'clock, time to go to bed, and then get up and do it again. And it kept me moving forward. And, you don't have to be there the whole time. Some people, they like to dwell and like to say the things they can't do. And, you know, and they